Hi everyone, it's Ashley. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. So guys, I wanted to come in tonight and really quickly make myself a sweatshirt. We have had our first couple days of 60-degree weather in Florida. So you know what that means? It is time for me to get myself a new sweatshirt and make it really cute for the couple of weeks of winter we will have here in Florida. So guys, I do want to show you really quickly in Design Space how I went about designing this because it was something a little different. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that, and then we'll meet back here, we'll get it weeded and pressed. Let's jump right into Design Space. So this is kind of the inspiration I had for the sweatshirt. I wanted my letters to look something like this. So first thing we're going to do is just come right over to the text box here, and I'm just going to type out wife, and then I will just make another text box and type out life. So I'll just bring these here so we can see them. And then I know for my top one, I'm just going to type in varsity. And it is the top one here. It's just called varsity. That's the text that I'm going to use for my top line. And then for my bottom line, in that same family, literally it's one down, it says varsity letter. That's what I'm going to use for the life. It's like the same font, but it's just filled in. This is kind of where I started, right? So now if you look at my design that I have here, just with the text box, it's kind of the opposite of my inspiration. This one has where like the blue would be vinyl. Let me zoom in a little so you guys can see. So like the blue would be vinyl, and then the white would be like your shirt underneath, right? And then in my inspiration, I like it more how they have a thin line of vinyl, and then it would be my sweatshirt, and then all of this is filled in. So I like that better. I think it's just easier to read when it's like that. So keeping that in mind, I was like, okay, well, how am I going to kind of invert this? Because I didn't find a font that was like that. And I didn't find a design that was like that. So this is how I kind of made a little workaround to get my text like I wanted it. If you guys know an easier way, please let me know. I am all ears. But this worked pretty good for me, so I just want to show you guys. So the first thing that I want to do is increase my letter space. So this is just going to give us a little bit more room between our letters, and I'll show you why in just a second. It'll kind of make sense. So that looks just about good to me. And then our next thing, we're going to come up and hit offset. So this always comes in at 0.25. That's going to be way too big. I'm going to try to get a very, very thin offset. So just using my arrow keys on my keyboard, if you go to the left and right, once you click on this little circle here, you can move it ever so slightly. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So for myself in my design, I'm going to go with 0.056. That looks really good to me. So with this still selected, so now our offset is selected, I'm going to come down to contour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click out all of these little middles because I don't want the inside of these to cut, right? I just want it to be filled in. So just like this, we have our original text, and then we have a filled in offset layer behind it. So right now, this would be like the black would be all one piece of vinyl, and then you would iron on the blue onto the black. And I don't want to do that because I just don't think it will look as nice, and I definitely don't think it'll last as long, right? So I'm going to select both, just my black layer and my blue layer, and I'm going to come down to, let's see, so why, okay. This was a 2-layer font here, so I'm just going to delete that second layer. That's why it's not letting me do it. But if I just select both of them, I'm going to come over to slice, and then that's going to be like a cookie cutter. It's going to kind of give us a bunch of different pieces here, right? So this was our original, and then this is what it cut off, right? So this is kind of the outside of the cookie cutter, and then now we're left with this. So for me, this looks nice. I actually could even do that offset a little bit thinner. Like look at my inspiration, right? The offset is even a little thinner in this one. So I think I actually might go back. So I'm just gonna hit undo a bunch of times until I get to here. So I'm gonna go back to offset. And then it was at 0.56. I'm going to try to take this in just a little bit more. So I think one more in is fine. So then I'll just repeat the same steps, go down to contour. I'm going to fill in all of my middles. And then here I even have some extra middles now because it got even smaller. So that looks great. And then selecting both. Oh, delete our second layer of our font. We don't need it. Selecting both the blue and the black. I'll go to slice and then let's see what we got. So that looks really good to me. I'm actually really happy with that margin around. You could even maybe go one more in, but for me personally, I think that looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and delete my mom. And then I just had this one hid. This is just the one that I originally, this is just the one that I originally did, and then this is the one that I just created with you guys. So I think I did a pretty good job. They look just about the same to me, so either one is fine. I'll go ahead and delete that one. So now with both of them selected, I'm going to go to align, and then let's say center horizontally. That'll just make sure that these are lined up with one another. And then I think I want the spacing to be just about like this, maybe a little higher. So I think just about like that, the spacing between the two. And then I'll go to center horizontally, make sure they're lined up to one another. And then I am going to hit attach. And then I know that I want this to be 13 inches wide. So, and then let's see how tall that is. It's about 7 inches tall. Let's see if that'll work or if I need to kind of manipulate it a little bit. Looking at my sweatshirt, it looks like I want to keep it right about 6 inches. So I want to see if I unlock this and make my height 6. Like that to me looks fine. I think there's no issue with that. Let me see. Did it take any? Yeah, it did. So yeah, to me, I think that looks just fine. So perfect. So it's 13 by 6 is the measurements that I ended up with. I'm going to go to make it. And then I will have to use my long mat, which is just fine. And I am going to make sure that I mirror this, right? Because we are using iron-on. So guys, I'm going to cut this out on the everyday iron-on setting, and I will see you guys back at the desk. Alright guys, so I'm just going to quickly get this weeded out. It should go pretty smoothly. This is the brand of vinyl that I used here. I just ordered it on Amazon. I didn't have any pink iron-on left other than some glitter, and I really was not interested in using glitter for this, and I knew that I wanted kind of a very specific pink, right? I wanted a very bubblegum pink for this. So I did find this roll on Amazon, and I thought it was pretty fairly priced. It was like $5 for the roll, and it looks like it cut well. Weeding, I am finding it a little harder to weed than a normal iron-on, but it does look like it cut really well. And it just seems like it's just really on that carrier sheet. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I will just get this weeded out, and I want to press this on this really just basic gray sweatshirt that I got at Walmart. The other night I stopped in Walmart because they are open just a little bit later than Target in our area. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be cutting it really, really close for Target, or I can give myself like an extra hour if I go to Walmart, and I won't have to like rush, because I cannot be one of those people that are in the stores like just walk in like 10 minutes before they're closing and just decide to shop. And I don't like to be rushed. And it was one of the few times I was by myself, no husband or kid. So I wanted to just kind of, you know, take my time and stroll a little bit. So I decided I would go to Walmart. And you know what? It's funny because I've been hearing like, I've been seeing a lot of videos and like kind of hearing people say like, is Target over? Like, is Walmart the new Target again? And let me tell you, I have been a Target girly for a little bit, probably like ever since I had my daughter. I just kind of gravitated more towards Target. I felt like they had cuter baby clothes and I bought their diapers. So I kind of just, that became my kind of go-to store. But I don't know, like I have to tell you, I went into Walmart the other night and I found so much cute stuff. I found a couple of things for Christmas and they're like their version of like their dollar spot that I really liked, and I picked them up because, you know, I wasn't sure when I would go back into Walmart because most of the time, even when I shop at Target, I'll do like a drive up order. I don't typically go in unless I have more time than usual. And I am nowhere near ready to do Christmas quite yet. Okay, so just pause. I did accidentally rip off some of this F, so I am gonna have to go back in and recut just the F of this word. But anywho, so I went into Walmart and oh my gosh, I was just very, very pleasantly surprised. And like one of the things I found that we're going to be using today is this sweatshirt, and it's like, it was $11, which is a great price for a sweatshirt. And as a plus size girl, if you are a plus size girly, you can probably relate to my struggle of finding, you know, sweatshirts that are larger in size so I can get that kind of oversized look. So I was really excited to find a sweatshirt for $11 that would give me the look I was looking for. So I was happy. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my scraps. I'm going to quickly cut out this F and then we will get to getting this press. So I just went back in and used the slice tool to slice out, my F. And then since I had it still up, you know, it was still sized exactly how I needed it to. So I will just replace that F when we get to it. And guys, that's why it's really important to either leave your design up or save it, or make sure you save it just until you are sure that everything has gone correctly, because I have definitely done that where I'm like, okay, I cut it and I, you know, like close out design space without saving, and then I go to place it and something happens and I need it, and then it's so hard to try to go back and get your placement right again. So now I'm just gonna go in. This is I wouldn't say tricky design to weed, but I just have to be sure that I am weeding the correct part, because it goes like outline and then weed and then it's filled in. So I just have to kind of concentrate for a second, because things like this are the exact things that drive me nuts, and I will like get it wrong time after time after time, and it will take me forever to figure out why it's not coming out right. So I'm just gonna kind of concentrate for a second until I get my confidence here in what I'm doing. I'm not even going to worry about weeding this F because I have to replace it anyways. And I will say that I don't know if I said it earlier in the video, but this is my first time using this iron-on. So I definitely am not gonna say that I recommend it or don't recommend it. I mean, it's weeding just fine. It's probably a little thinner than I'm used to working with. Just in terms of, because this is the first time I'm using it, I have no idea how it's gonna hold up. I know that in general and in the iron-ons that I usually buy, my shirts tend to last a really long time. I never really have an issue with the vinyl coming up. So I have high expectations for that. So like I said, I can't recommend or not recommend this because I wouldn't do that until I know how it kind of wears and how long it lasts. So this is how it looks. I think it came out so cute. I love it. Let's go ahead and weed our F. Yeah, this vinyl is definitely less forgiving than other vinyl iron-ons I've used. Usually HTV is like super forgiving and you can kind of, I don't know, it's just very, very easy to work with. This one is not as easy to work with. But we are making our way through it. And I think that once we get it ironed on, it'll probably be just the same as any other. But I really, really wanted this bubblegum pink and I did not have any, and my heart was set on it for this design. So I just had to go on Amazon and order. You know, sometimes you just kind of get a design in your head and you know exactly what color you want to use and it's like no other color would do. My other idea was to do like a black glitter and I was definitely going to do that. Like I would have done that instead of the pink, but I didn't have black glitter either. So then once I realized I didn't have either one, I was like, well, I'm going to have to order one or the other. So I might as well just order the pink. So that looks great. Let's go ahead and clean up here. Okay, I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to cut off this F just because I know myself and I will be completely wrapped up in something and I will press that with that F just like that. I know myself, so I have to kind of set myself up for success here. And then I'm going to just come in and trim my design as close as I can just to get some nice placement. And then I will trim around my replacement F here. I think that I am, I don't know, I think I'm probably gonna lay them separately, but let's see. If I can get it in there and get it nicely placed, I will press them together, but we'll see about that. Oh yeah, I should be able to. Okay, perfect. Okay, bringing my sweatshirt in, I'm just going to quickly lint roll the area that I have in mind for my iron-on. And then I will bring in my Cricut heat press mat. And I'm going to just put this right on my mat here. And I know about where I want to place this. So I'm just gonna kind of try to get this as centered as I can. And then I'm gonna bring in my heat press and I'm just gonna press this for just a couple seconds just to kind of flatten out my sweatshirt as well as get any moisture out. And I will have to press this, I'm sure, in 2 parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and, because I have a 9x9 easy press and I know my design is 13 inches long. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of shift this over to the left and then I will still work on my placement here. I probably should have laid it down first, but that is okay. I think that I can manage here. So I'm just gonna press this just for a couple more seconds because I don't think I got this edge here. Okay, and then bringing in my larger piece, I will just kind of get this placed where I want it. And you know, this is something you're gonna have to kind of work on for yourself, and something that kind of just comes with time and practice. You know, once you kind of done it enough times, you'll realize where you like to place things and how you like your design to look. So just kind of keep that in mind. But there are ways and there are like little tricks to kind of get nice placement. You can try to line up like your shoulder seams and then make a crease down the middle and then do it that way. They make like little rulers for the top. Honestly, like I said, I'm just gonna kind of wing it a little bit here. I have a general idea. So, okay, so that looks just about good to me. Now I'm gonna try to line up this F here. Let's see if I can do it. It's fine, the letters are far enough away that, and I trimmed this close enough that it's fine. I'm just worried about like myself placing it weird. So I'm gonna try to really get this lined up. I'm gonna really take my time here and just try to see if I can really get that placed nicely. I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about this F now, but I think that this looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I think it looks okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think I'm gonna press it like this. So bringing back in my press. Now the directions were 302 degrees for 10 to 12 seconds. For me, I'm gonna do 300 for probably about 20 seconds or so. And then I'll shift to the other side. Okay, and then just shifting to the other side, I'll press this side for the same amount. And it is a cool peel. I think that it might need some more heat, but I'm gonna turn it over and press it from the back, and then I'll kind of take it from there. All right, I'm just going to flip this over, and then I'm just gonna press it for 30 seconds on the back. Then I'm going to remove my heat press mat and then put this down on my nice cold desk, and that will help draw out some of that heat that's trapped. And then let's see how it did. So it's just, look at this eye. Oh no, my eye got a little wonky here. Let's see. It looks like my eye got a little wonky there, and I don't really see a way to fix it. So I'm a little bummed about that, but it's okay. Let's see how the rest of it did. So it seems to be coming up pretty nice. I think I'm gonna hit it with just a little more heat, just because it's really coming off of that carrier sheet like super tough. See, but then I don't know, because down here I feel like it looks pretty good. Let's see, I'm just gonna try to remove this carrier sheet. It looks like it's down. I definitely do want to give it more heat, but I kind of want to get this carrier sheet off of it. It's so like stuck to this carrier sheet. I don't think it's giving it a fair chance of laying down nicely. So then I'm just gonna bring in a piece of butcher paper, and I'm just gonna give this a little more heat. And I'm gonna kind of try to get that eye to lay back down maybe a little. I'm not sure if that's gonna, if anything's gonna help it or not, but nah. No, it got a little wonky, but I do feel like it's laying down better with that extra heat. So that E was left out. I'm gonna give that a little bit of heat. And the rest of it looks like it laid down really nicely though. I'm just kind of bummed that I got a little messed up, but okay guys, so what do you think? I think it came out really cute. I'm honestly really happy with it. I will say I am bummed about my eye. If you can see there, it has like a wrinkle in it where the iron-on got just a little folded, and I wasn't able to kind of remedy that. So I don't know if I'll bring in like my mini and see if I can do something with it, but I mean, other than that, it came out really nice. I do love the color. I cannot say that I recommend the vinyl itself. It was definitely a little trickier to work with than I'm used to, but I am super happy with how it came out. I am happy with the way that the design came out, and I am in love with the sweatshirt that I found at Walmart for $11. So all in all, I still think it's a win. But back to my original question, do you guys think that Walmart is the new Target again? I don't know. I think it might be. So that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you are inspired to make something. Just thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.